And so then you get this beautiful, colourful shape. Wrapped all around here nice, just like a real lollipop. Don't eat it. Then here's another lollipop for your collection. One turn in. Into the store. You get that beautiful red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple that will come to know and love about a rainbow. Never. We're going to see how long it takes me to do one of these from scratch. You made yourself another lollipop. Well done. I cannot stress this, please don't eat it. But don't worry, I know what I'm doing. So I've already shown you how to make a lollipop with a rainbow colour. So, like you see here, with obviously red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. So I've shown you how to make the circle shape. I'm going to show you a few things. So you see I've already got some clay pre-prepared here. I'm going to show you some few shapes you can make using colour and some shapes that you can make using white. So what we're going to do is we're now going to deliberately put white in between the colours. So to do that, all you really need to make sure of is that you have bits of white in between each colour, including after purple. So you want to see a clear stripe between every single one. So because of this, this whole stack becomes a lot more straightforward. But it does mean that you have to be careful that you are going to make sure all of these fit onto your roll, which they usually do. It's not really that big of a deal, just make sure it's thick enough. Place it in like this, nice and gentle, just so they all have a chance to come in together like that. Now because you're looking for white in the middle, it's okay for this white section to be here because you kind of actually need it to be. Just pinching a little. And so as you can see, you've got this nice even cluster. Start to roll it together. It naturally flattens out very easily because you've already got all of this white in between the colours. And this means that it will make that really nice sort of like candy stripe shape that we all know and love very quickly and very easily. In fact, you can see just from a few rolls that it's already starting to flatten in together. You do want to make sure that each individual stripe is here and make corrections if it isn't, because the last thing you need is the white actually mixing with the colors. So we're using modeling clay. You want to make sure that it stays separated because modeling clay, when you mix the colors together, they will mix. So you want to roll it, but keep it separate. Okay, and you keep rolling it out until it rolls out in the shape into the desired length. Just make sure you don't lose any bits. Check in with this frequently. Because the warmth of your hand will make it flexible, but if you're not careful, it will also make it hard to judge what's white and what's a colour. Be sure to untwist it occasionally. Because you are going to do the twist, but you want to do it on your terms when it's at the length you want it to be. You don't want to do it on the clay's terms. Obviously try to thin it out as evenly as possible. So if you can see that a certain section is thicker than another one, then be sure to just work on the thicker section until it thins out. You can see what I'm doing here is I'm sort of like splaying my hand apart as I sort of roll it. So that way it can thin out. Now obviously keep an eye out here. So see, for example, this green doesn't reach both ends. Means it's not really going to be what we want. So we're going to roll it out a little more and check for colors that don't reach the ends. And we'll actually cut those ends off. We're getting to the stage where we can use both hands. So what you're supposed to be doing is as you're rolling back and forth, you're actually pulling your hands apart like this. I know that maybe it doesn't seem obvious to some of you, but for others, they don't actually think about the hand motion and how it can interrupt the flow of a shape. Now, obviously, there are plenty of clay experts out there, so everyone's opinion is valid. This is just the way I'm doing it. So I'm getting to the point where I am going to cut off the end that doesn't actually feature the colors I need. So that way I can sort of keep its shape. Same deal here. Still got all the colors I need now. And then you keep going. Now, because you're using double the amount of clay, it's also going to take double the amount of time to flatten out. So don't be discouraged if it feels like it's taking forever. It probably is. But that's okay. Take this time to reflect. How is your life going? Is it going well? Are you happy? While you're reflecting on your life, double check that there is white in between everything, otherwise it screws the whole thing up. Okay, yellows and oranges are notoriously bad for this because yellow is a very easy color to blend, so it likes to blend as soon as it can. So we can see as it gets closer to the end here that it's starting to really not do what we need it to do. But that's okay because you can cut that end off and just retain the shape you need. Stay consistent, make sure you can see the white. It's going to want to twist. It doesn't need to twist right now, okay? But a little bit more and then you'll be there. Okay, now we can twist. Try to keep that white stripe in it as much as you can. So what I'm doing is I'm twisting it and sort of half pushing it in as well to help it sort of twist up and constrict to give us that really nice little candy looking shape. Beautiful. Now, let's roll this up onto a stick. Similar to this. The way it works is you want to pick a section about like obviously within enough length for someone to hold the stick. And then you want to curl the bottom piece around. Now you are going to build up this diagonally. You've got to be very careful not to break it, because it will want to break. You have to go very gently. And you're doing little bits at a time. because it will come up. Now if you think you've started too low down, don't worry, I've got a fix for you. It's actually really simple. Just slowly inch it on. There's no rush. It's not a competition. Beautiful. Now you can see that this stick is too far down, but that's okay, because you haven't wrapped it too tightly, so you're just going to twist, hold the shape, and pull it down a bit. Now, with this end here, you want to try and make it a bit of a point. You want to try and point that a little bit, because what you're going to do is you're actually going to point it up and push it onto the tip, like this. And that's actually going to complete it. And also, bonus point, it holds the stick in place. And so then you get this beautiful, colourful shape. Wrapped all around here nice, just like a real lollipop. Don't eat it. Okay. Just like without the stripes, it's pretty much the same process for making a circle, a star, and a heart. But I'm going to walk you through the process anyway, just to be sure that you know what's going on. All of these. We're no strangers to this. Now, something else you can do, if you're sort of not a fan of this, you can always carve out the offending section to allow you space to push this in. Because it's all going to be coming out as a circle anyway, so it doesn't actually matter that much. As long as you don't impact your colours that are going to be there anyway, you're pretty set just to take a section out. You get rid of that bit, and then you can close that gap. And it's like the gap was never there. Delightful. Again, got a nice shape. Looks great. And we're trying to make sure we can see that each colour is touching the end, because that's going to be more helpful for us later. Okay, let's roll them together again. So this time we're just going to keep it simple, and we're going to make a nice plain circle, okay? So now we've rolled it out, you know what we're going to do. We're going to twist it. Okay. As per usual, we cut the end off. And we're forming a circle, nice and simple, done it before. Curl it in. Swirl it up. Cut the opposite way to the stripes to allow you to pin it down. Roll the shape out a bit. Add a stick. And there's another lollipop viewer collection with all the little stripes in it. Beautiful. Let's do it again. Let's make a star and a heart. We'll start with the heart, just because I find it an easier shape to make. You know the deal. Place it on. Nice and close together. Beautiful. Yeah, you can see here we've got sort of an excessive end here. That's alright. You can flatten that down if you like, or you can always cut it too if you want to get rid of it. Okay. Let's roll this piece out and make ourselves a heart. And we'll twist it. Okay, so let's make a heart. So we're going to point the end in, as usual, and you're going to get about one turn in. You're going to get about one turn in, then you're going to start to actually form the shape of the heart. I always find it, again, helpful to sort of have a reference guide. I keep one of the hearts around that I was quite happy with. There's a little reference guide. So you want to pinch the sides a bit, but not too much. And you want to start flexing in the top. But again, not too much. Literally, that's it. Just this little bit here. Just a little bit. Push the sides. Push a little bit. Now you complete another rotation. And now with that rotation, you push the sides in a little. Push the top in a little. Keep the shape of the heart you're making. Do another rotation. Push the sides in a little. Push the top in a little. Because it's already used to making the shape, it makes it a whole lot easier for you to do. Don't forget your opposite cut and face. Try not to fiddle too much, and if you are going to fiddle, you fiddle with the outside edges, not the inside edges. And by that I mean you fiddle with this edge, not this edge, the flat sides, because if you do mess about with that, then you're going to mess about with the shape of the heart itself. And there's a heart. You get your stick through the end. Be sure to hold on to it as it goes through. And pinch off the end so that way it actually grips on. Heart. Just for you. Now let's make a start. You already know what we're going to do. Place it all on again. Go red to white to orange. Right. Blue. Purple. Check that it's all fitting nicely. Now let's roll it out. make a star. And twister. If a bit loses its strength and splits, don't bother trying to save it. You got plenty of clay to go, and this really stretches out. Plus, you can use that offcut for a new piece if you need to. Same deal, lose the white, don't need it. Can use this later. Okay, let's make a star. Slice this off so you have a point. Curl it in. Remember what you're trying to make. So, just push in a bit. So here are the bottom two bits of the star, right? So you can see we're making these two bottom parts of the star like this. Now we go over here and here for the top point of the star. Every single time you curve around a certain point, you want to make sure that you're reinforcing this star shape. You can start to fold your points. Try not to push on the middle because it will flatten the shape out. And there you have it, a star. Twist it again. Pinch to make sure it's secure. And then you have a star. How beautiful is that? So, with candy stripes, you can make a twisted candy. You can make a regular old lollipop. You can make a love heart. Or you can make a star. Okay, so you may want to make a lollipop, for example, but you don't want to have a bunch of cool little white stripes in it, right? So you're after more of this situation. You still want your rainbow, you know, you want your reds, right? Your orange, your yellow, your green, your blue, your purple, but no white stuff. You just want to keep that very pure rainbow shape. Well, in order to do that, you have to think about how this system works. There is always a core piece. Now, as a general rule, the core piece is going to be white, okay? It's just easier. to have a white piece, and it also means you can tell when something's going wrong. Once you have that core piece, you need to then stack colours around it. You can see over here I've got all of these colours lined up already. So the trick with making sure that you don't see any white here is that it is covered from the get-go. Okay? You want to make sure that, yes, this will be a thick piece. It's thicker than the other ones, but it is not so thick that it's going to show through. So let's have a look at a practical example. I'm going to show you from start to finish. I've got all these like long bits here, no cutting, no pre-cutting. I'm going to show you it sort of raw. Okay? Measure a section. Boom. Right. Here's my first bit. Just by having a look at that, I can tell if that's going to be too big or too small. But just for the sake of it, I'm going to do all of the pieces. So here's orange. But Tim, I hear you ask, why are you just chopping sections off this really big rope? So why don't you just make a really big rope to start with? Well, I tell you, it is far easier to work with a smaller piece and to expand it out rather than to work with a huge piece and bring it in. And also it means you can spot mistakes early and change them or fix them quickly. Line up your shape, bang. Take that, get rid of that. Line up your shape. Now once you get all of these, you can sort of do is, you can give yourself a bit of a dry run. So get all the pieces, put them together. Do this, do this, do this. Get them all together like this. Right. Now you can already see that piece is still too thick. So we're going to thin it out. And that's actually a relatively simple process too, because all you got to do is roll it out a bit till it expands. Grab a reference piece, chop the end off, flatten it out, try again. Can I gather all of my pieces on here without any of the white showing? I don't want to see any of the white in between these pieces. Now I have shown you this before. If this does happen, you can just remove sort of the offending white bit that isn't working for you. You can drive a knife down here, and remove the undesired section. To allow you to clamp down between these colours. Again, we are trying to avoid white at all costs here. So you can already see as I'm flattening everything out, we're starting to not see white, and I haven't even started rolling it yet. Okay? And see what happens when I start to roll it. Already you can see the colours start to join and the white stops becoming a problem. Again, strictly speaking, this is if you don't want to see any white whatsoever in your clay piece. Okay? So the white is just the core. Okay? It's just there to allow you to stretch your piece out. Okay, here it is. Then you can start twisting it together. And as you can see, they're white. Now obviously you can see white on the ends, but I've got a really easy solution for that. Get rid of it. Continue to push the product out, and remember that it should all be the same thinness and thickness. Okay. It should all be the same diameter if I were to employ the terms of a mathematician. And you should have a beautiful little stripe just like this. And now we can turn it into something. Now, I've already turned it into a circle, so why don't we turn the next one into a heart? So to do that, we're going to twist this end around. Okay, don't be shy. We know what we're doing. It's okay. Twist it around like that. You want to try and get about half a rotation in. Just enough to establish a bit of a circle. Because now you're about to form a shape out of that circle. Okay. Start with the top. Grab a tool. It can be any kind. It could be like this kind of thing with a little round end on it. It could be this with a little pushy end on it. If you want really precise sides, you can use a hook. All you're doing is sort of forming that shape here at the top. You're also forming the shape on the sides. So it's like we're all agreeing where this shape's going to go. Cool? Cool. I'm going to keep wrapping. See how this now naturally falls into place here? Let it come up this side again. Form the shape. So because you've got a new set of sides, you need to form the shape. Do it again. Now my recommendation is you actually try to end the shape on a side on this left side here, because if you count out the layers, it goes first, second, third, fourth, first, second, third, fourth. If you wrap this around here, it becomes first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So you want the point to end up here. Slice the opposite direction of the stripes, because then it will give you a way to neatly push this section down. Just like that. Push in the shape of the heart. Keep the sides of the heart. Beautiful. And you get all those lovely colours, right? You get that beautiful, like, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple that will come to know and love about a rainbow. Be sure to push this point in. Okay. Once you're happy with that, stick. Use the stick to drill in, but twisting gently and going through the heart. Now you want to twist rather than just push it in, because if you push it in, you are going to push the sides in as well, so you have to be very careful with that. Find this piece here, do a bit of shaping, and now you have a heart. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to see how long it takes me to do one of these from scratch. Let's consider this a speed run of sorts. For the sake of easiness, we're going to make sure we do a simple one. So, obviously the simplest of the simple is the swirl. You just make one swirl, make sure it looks good, job done. Smooth this out, it just needs to be a bit thicker than all these. Get piece, cut to size, because you can always add or subtract more later. So there's no need to be too fussy about it. And also, it all kind of comes out in the wash anyway as you sort of put it all together, so it doesn't matter that much. Just bang, bang, cut to size, green, I mean, all we're really doing with this white piece is that we're just making sure that the colours have something to wrap around. Because if you try to wrap them around themselves, it's too hard. It just creates more of a mess. Flex this out, put a piece on, put another piece on. Yellow, green, blue, and let's wrap it up with a bit of purple, lovely. Okay, so again, the aim of the game is to not see any white. This white piece in the middle is purely just to make sure that the center doesn't collapse on us. Roll to combine, make sure you can still see every color. Then you are going to continue to roll to combine, starting by getting this flat enough that you can fit 2 hands on it. You'll see why in a minute. Now you'll see why. 2 hands so that you can roll and spread. Roll and spread. You are trying to create a thin shape, and that is super difficult. Okay? Don't worry about the ends. We're getting rid of them soon. Roll and spread. The whole point is that we're trying to thin out this line whilst rolling it out. You see any sections that are too thick? Focus on them for a bit, using the palm of your hand. Because normally we place more weight on whatever our dominant hand is, and that bit will get flatter first. So obviously I'm right-handed, so you can see that this bit, if you looked closely enough, is flatter than this bit. So occasionally I pay more attention to this side. Again, we're just trying to spread it out. The twisting's going to come later, don't you worry. Right, now we see these white bits, don't need them. Off with them. Keep rolling. Spread it out, nice and how you want it. Looks good, let's twist. Be careful about twisting, you don't want to accidentally cause breakages. Twist, twist, twist. Twist it. Cool. Roll. Twist where relevant. You want to have a sort of tighter curve on the twists. You would probably rather avoid having like these really big wide ones you can see here. It's a lot nicer to have them tightened up a bit. So then you really get to see the shape of the colour. Okay. Watch out for weaker sections, because obviously as you roll stuff out, you're going to put more pressure on weaker sections, and that is going to cause potential breakages. So be careful. Okay. Looks good to me. Got the twists in, lovely twist. Let's make a wheel. Simple lollipop wheel. Get the side in, just like that. And then start twisting it together. You use this hand, your left hand here, to try and keep it down, flat on your surface, while still allowing you to retain that perfect pyramid shape. Looks good. Nice. Cut the opposite way that the stripes flow, because this bit is now going to be squished flat. And if you do it right, you can see that the yellow nicely folds into the yellow here. Roll along your work surface, just to try and keep that consistent shape. Beautiful. Stick in it. Remembering to twist as you go in and to gently do it. Because if you try to push really hard, then you'll push all of these lovely sides that you just made together. Keep some hands on it. Keep that shape nice and smooth. Perfect. Looks good. You made yourself another lollipop. Well done. I cannot stress this, please don't eat it. Add it to the collection. Let's make some more shapes. We've got our circle, we've got our heart. Let's make a star and let's make a twirl. Just to save myself some convenience, I'm just going to grab some pieces that are already cut to size here, and I will just cut other pieces to suit. Get all these up in the shape. Get a piece of white to match. Don't want to see any white. Great. Let's roll that out. Cool, twist that into shape. Okay, got that beautiful bit of rope. Just chop off these white ends that we don't need. Let's make a star. Pull it around. Lock it in. Form a circle round. And then using a tool, we're going to actually make sure we mark out the shapes. Put one there. Put one there. Put one there. And here. We're from that point, that point. Right here. Right here. Don't forget the tip. And there's your star. Through the bottom. Remember to twist as it goes in. Pinch the ends. Ah, lovely. Chuck that in the collection. Now, we get to make a twirl. The twirl is one of the easier ones besides the actual just sort of the wheel. So let's use this convenient piece of green as a reference piece. And we're going to form everything else around it. Once you start getting to smaller lengths of rope, then you can do this neat trick. Obviously it's not really that neat of a trick. I'm sure you guys can figure out what my trick is. Oh my goodness, how does he do it? He lines up a bunch and does them all at once. It's amazing, no one's ever done that before. And by now we mean literally everyone's already thought of that. Now we're just going to make a piece of white that fits. Cool. Good. Blue. And purple silver. And roll this stuff out. Okay. Cut the white pieces off. And twist it. Continue to twist it into shape. Great. Now, to make the twist, right, similar to this, you don't curl this around at all. In fact, what you do is you pick a point of the stick to start on, pick up your rope, and then wrap it around, and then you start to build on the stick that way. Now, I'm sure you're looking at it, you little clever frogs, and thinking that, oh, geez, you know what, he's given it too much stick. But don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Remember to go nice and slowly, so you don't accidentally crack the sides. Because you work really hard on this, and it would be a shame for it to fall apart now. we've got this little bit of slack left. Just while we're waiting, we're going to quickly and calmly just twist the stick just a little bit. And now it's pulled to length. And what we're going to do is we're going to curl this bit around and place it on top like this. And that is what actually completes it. And you have it. Rainbow across one being twisted. And that's how you make it.
And that's my rainbow lollipop. Does it look just like my clay one?
It's a dark night, but you shine so bright. I can see the stars shining through your eyes. Someone else might shine as bright, but they're not you. Just watch them try, 'cause everything happens for a reason, and stars shine in every single season. So reach for the stars, shine so bright, go so far. So reach for the stars, shine so bright, go so far. So reach for the stars.